Now I have no idea if this clockwork engine is going to be nearly enough to power these guys, but the idea is that you look in the microscope with an item like dirt, and you see all the different, this is how you make it, and you click this to see how you decompose it. Then it can decompose into all kinds of wacky things. Although the very first thing you need is bloody sand to make bloody glass. Alright, this is what you need to do to get started in MineChem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 glasses up the middle gives you 16 empty vials to put your mean freaky chemicals in. Alright, now we're cooking with, I almost said gas, but now we're cooking with gas. Alright, so again, you put your items in here on the microscope to see how to make it. Chemical synthesis machine, chemical decomposer. So, let's just put some dirt in here and see what happens. It is unpowered. Guess it needs more power than that. And I only want to put one dirt there. Well, it's flickering. It says it's powered, unpowered, powered, unpowered. Wow, 0.2 MJ, huh? Something is soaking up your power. I didn't think that was going to be really enough. But it seems to be enough to eat the item, just not to give me anything, huh? Yeah, it eats the item, but I don't get anything back. So I'm going to need more power than that. Alright, well that was the experiment, and the chemical synthesis I can't do because I have no chemicals. Gosh. Alright, well, at least it's taking Buildcraft power. That's the main thing I wanted to see. If so, now I can get some work done. I just can't believe how low the output is on that. Just 1 MJ. Thought it used to be 2 or 3. So, I still need you here. The peat bog's not going to be as useful as I thought it would be. This guy should speed up, and it's still going to be, should send out more pulses per second. Oh wow, that is really poor output. Huh. Alright, so maybe we'll move on to plan B. I want my Stirling engines to not explode, because those would run off of coal. And of course with Railcraft, they'd run out, you can make your coal into coal coke and get 4 times the output. Yeah, it's just still, it is powered now. Maybe it had to power up. Hey, it just ate my thing. Stop doing that. Give me something. Huh, it is supposed to produce chemicals in the bottom slots. I don't know why that's not happening. Now it's back and forth between powered and unpowered. Can you get hotter than that? I know, whoop, red. Red, alright. Is it happy on red? No, it just flickers back and forth. So it's whatever it needs. It's stored. So it's going to store some. It can use up to 20 MJ a tick, which is just crazy ridiculous. Oh, okay, so it did give me something from the sugar cane. I did get sucrose. Huh, it was quite a delay, so I think what happened is it has to store up enough, what looks like 2 MJ in order to do a tick of work. Let me see, if I crank you a little again, hit that. And again, sucrose should convert, well, it's going to eat up all of my darn things if all my test tubes, because it could break down, if you put this back in the top, it'll break down into 12 carbon, 22 hydrogen, 11 oxygen. I got a hydrogen from thin air, I don't know why. Let me put 1 piece of dirt up there, see what I can get. Pound on this, but definitely I need to give this a better power source. So I got another hydrogen, I don't know why, that's kind of weird. These are supposed to stack, you know. I don't know why it isn't stacking, that's kind of freaky. You chemicals had better stack properly. Holy cow, we're gonna have some trouble if they don't. Alright. So now I just got an oxygen. It's almost like it's just sucking in air at this point. Alright, well, like I say, we need way more power to get that to run properly. For now, I will produce a... I was going to make a chest, but there's also... there's a specific chest for chemical storage. Oh, it's got to be elemental lead around a chest. That's cute. Because what the chemical chest does is it prevents radioactive materials from decaying if you put them in there. It's also a chemist's journal. It's a book in a vial, which is cute. It's supposed to, as you discover new... well, I can probably just make one, just show how it works. But as you discover new recipes under the microscope, if you put your chemist's journal in there, the special slot by the microscope, it will let you... it'll store all the recipes that you've discovered in your little chemist journal. It's really cutely done. Let me head back over there, and I'm going to have to do some research to solve this power problem. Because if they made the if they made the darn peat-fired engine that weak, then I really don't know any actual use for it. Alright, so we got that. So the chemist journal is just the book plus an empty vial. It gives you a chemist journal, and the point of that is that you put an item in your microscope, check it out, you put your journal there, and it should theoretically write these recipes to your chemist journal. Let's see if that happened or not. So 5, you open it up, dirt, you click dirt, there you go. So, well, that's really nice. That's actually more fun than using the microscope. So it's stepping through in the decomposer. That's really well done. I was wondering how it was going to handle all the different freaky possibilities. But it's stepping through. You get silicon oxygen, iron oxygen, magnesium oxygen, titanium oxygen, or lead and oxygen, all 7% chance, or zinc and oxygen, or gallium and arsenic. And that's all the elements you can get out of dirt. And to synthesize it, you need a silicon and 2 oxygens, because dirt, well, sand technically is silicon dioxide primarily. Quartz is silicon dioxide, and sand and dirt are mostly quartz. So that's how the chemist journal works. And it's got a scroll bar, so I'm guessing it's going to handle a whole lot of freaky recipes. Let's see what happens if you put oak wood in there. Write that one to your journal. See if it, again, sugar cane, we can write that to our journal. Click. It won't recognize things from other mods. I wouldn't expect it to, because it has no idea that they exist. It knows about gold, but this might not be the vanilla gold bar. Bread, it knows about. Can you get anything out of bread? Nah, it's just sucrose and starch. I guess we can remember that if you want. Coal, it ought to just give you carbon, 16 carbons. Now, the real funny secret recipe, of course, is to make diamonds. You need a 64C in each of the corners. 64C is called fullerene. So technically, you can take 4 coal to make a 64C, and then 4 of those. So 16 coal can be made into a diamond using this contraption. Yep, trust me on that. In fact, I might even get a stack. The trick is you need 4 full freaking stacks of test tubes to pull it off. I mean, you get your test tubes back afterwards, but you know, it's an interesting system. I'll definitely play with it some more. Let's see how our chemist journal is going. Decomposer. I'll go get a diamond just to prove it to ya. Just to prove it to ya. Let's go with try an emerald, a diamond, redstone, lapis, and clay. We'll try those, and gunpowder. Those are all the vanilla things in that pile. Let's go check under the microscope, see what we can make out of all this funky stuff. Clay is going to give you kaolinite. Clay is an aluminum silicate hydrated, so he got that pretty much right. We will log clay. Gunpowder is going to be carbon, sulfur, and potassium nitrate to make it. Breaks down into the same thing essentially. Emerald, that's neat. Chromium and vanadium around beryl. Very creative. Chromium, vanadium, and beryl. Alright. Lapis is a super complicated molecule, and you can see it's a silicate, sulfate. I'm not sure that's totally right, but it is a sodium aluminum silicate with some other stuff in it. Redstone he made kind of cute because, as I mentioned, it's iron 3 oxide, which is rust, plus strontium nitrate, where strontium is the element that gives you the red glow under a Bunsen burner. So, cute choice for redstone. And did I not do the diamond? Wasn't that the whole point of this experiment? There, diamond. You can make a diamond. Oh, they made it funky. Alright, this is interesting. A diamond will break down into 4 carbon nanotubes, so it's going to be a lot more than I thought. So it's going to be 64 coal to make a carbon, because you need not just a C64, you need 4 C64s to make the carbon nanotubes, and 4 of those to make the carbon, to make the diamond. So it's going to take 64 coal, each one producing C16, produce 16 stacks of C64. You know, it's in there. It'll work. So it'll take a whole stack of coal to make a diamond. But on the other hand, you know, that's also true of I think in an industrial craft there was a way to make diamonds out of coal, but it also took about a whole stack. Anyway, I'll leave my journal there. That's very pretty the way they did the journal. And I'll be heading on down. I need some darn machines. This is all so primitive. Makes me crazy. I'm trying to plan out a bunch of forestry machines. I mean, I'm really bummed that apparently the peat-fired engine has never produced more than 1 MJ per tick, and as you might guess, that blows. But to get to any better tier of machinery takes a whole lot of planning for any better tier of engines or power source. So what I'm trying to do, I'm going to need a whole bunch of bronze, because all the forestry machines are based on a casing that's, for example, the one I need first to start making biomass is the fermenter, which is 4 bronze gears, each needing 4 bronze. The sturdy casing, all forestry machines are based on a sturdy casing made out of 8 bronze. But just sort of preemptively, I'm going to throw some more copper in there as well. Yeah, ultimately I need a whole wall of pulverizers. Well, usually 2 or 3 of them is good enough. So, this is going to be weird. You can actually combine the ingots directly now. I don't know why. That never used to work. There, 4 bronze. So I already have enough to make a couple of these guys. Gonna make 2 frames, sturdy casings. And I almost said all the forestry machines are based on a sturdy casing. A few of them require an impregnated casing, which we'll just forget about for now. Most of them need a sturdy casing. I also need enough to make 4 bronze gears. You can already see how this is going to really eat up lots of copper. Do I have any more copper in reserve here? I got some copper. Alright, so after that's done, I will be doing some copper in there. Alright, well, we're pulverizing more copper, so some bronze, some tin, some copper. I can make a few more. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Half of those gives me enough to make my 4 copper. Yay, that's it. My 4 copper gears. Now I did make some stone gears, but I moved machine parts over there, remember? Alright, so I do have 4 stone gears. And what I like about this size building, as you can see, is you can pretty much do all your reach almost everything that you need to get to. From here, there's 4 bronze gears, and I can already make my my first fermenter. And the fermenter takes all kinds of plant materials and makes biomass, so that is cool. Now I really have to go. You know, at some point I'm actually going to need an actual forestry lab, but for now, heck, look, I got power right here, and I'm going to use it. So, just put my fermenter there, and it ought to have some power. Now the question is, what are the fermenter recipes in this crazy world? You're not gonna tell me, eh? Go up to the bog, get our feet wet, and as you can see, there's a bunch of them ready to go. At least it's a reasonably quick process. And if you're really lazy, you'll do the ones that are you'll skip the ones that are right next to the water blocks, because if I break this, the water will flow in there, and sometimes it's kind of a pain to plug those up again. So, you know, peat is certainly an easy resource to replenish, so I guess I can't complain too much. Hey, I'm getting my 3rd tier of berries here. I kind of like this idea of what you would call, I guess, a hedgerow. Probably be even better for when the fences are down at the ground level. Boy, nice hedgerow to protect my property from snipers. So it was easy. I got 13 peat. And once I drop them in here, so far this is my only peat-fired engine. I did make a second one, right? Yeah. So we're firing up the fermenter. Let me see quickly. One of the simplest things to make biomass out of course, is sugar cane. Well, saplings, sugar cane, leaves. Let's see, without industrial craft, there won't be plant balls to deal with. In those worlds, you can take 8 leaves and make a plant ball and use that. But let me see what kind of things in here now qualify as fuel. Of course, I need a lot of these for my books that I need to someday make. Oh well, I'll start off with sugar cane. I'll smash an egg on the wall. Yeah, there we go. Sugar cane, wheat. Wheat also can be thrown in there. So I'll smack me some wheat. Of course, you can only process 1 item at a time, and my... how it's going. I don't have a... yes, I don't have the hoe at the moment. But anyway, I'll throw some... guess I'll be good and replant those. Replant these. Oh man. Fine, you go up there for a few seconds. So I now have enough to replant this whole thing in just wheat. But I do also have 8 carrots, so I will leave 8 of them free for carrotage. Carrotage right there. Okay, so whatever. We'll throw the rest of the seeds up there. Still have to process my rubber saplings. I think last time I showed that I started with, what was it, 2 saplings, and I ended up with 17 of them, so I'm pretty well set for rubber. Whoa, look at that. I'm set for rubber. I can go industrial, but of course, you gotta throw a few extra torches, because bad guys will spawn underneath nice shady trees. Anyway, that looks pretty well lit up. So back to where we were. I put some peat in my, the only peat-fired engine I've got, I think, at the moment. It's cranking away just fine. This is recharging nicely. It's so bizarre not being able to mix the... I just want to see here. It's too weird. Look at that. You're usually... I'm so used to you combine those to get bronze dust, and then you smelt the bronze dust. But instead we just, in our hands, just take ingots and go, smoosh, now you're bronze. That doesn't make any sense. Mixing powders and then cooking it to get an ore, that makes sense, but just clanking 4 ingots together in our hands and calling it bronze, whatever. So, the thing with the pulverizer, the fermenter is the first step towards a biomass ethanol fuel factory, which eventually can fill a whole building this size. For now, since we're starting kind of primitive, well, we need a compost material of some kind, and I believe it also needs water. Oh man, alright, so go get some water, and I don't remember what the compost materials are. Certainly, well, compost fertilizer. That's what the apatite is for. The apatite that I said I would never need, which I think is all in the room I just left, right? No, there's some. So is it apatite and sand? Let's see, uses of apatite. 32. The peat actually makes ash as it burns, so this is actually a neat recipe. Once your peat burns, you put the ash around an apatite, and I don't remember getting 32 of them. I remember getting maybe 16. But 2 sand around an apatite will give me 16 fertilizer. We're just going to try that just once, just to see if this is the right kind of fertilizer. So let's just check that out. And it was 2 sand around an apatite, not 2 apatite around a sand. So we're just going to run one of these. 16 fertilizer. Drop the egg. I guess I put my rubber sapling in there for now. So I had a nice organized set of things to do. But as you're used to, you just have to sometimes run all over the damn place trying to sort it out. The other thing we need, as I said, was water. And water ultimately won't be a problem, because wherever I decide to move my ethanol biomass production to, I always put a endless water block and a aqueous accumulator that will drain the water into it, well, out of the water block into the machine. So I think with some fertilizer, I was hoping it would start processing. Let's see, sugarcane, uses, no. Sugarcane, recipes, uses. Maybe that got nerfed. Pulverizer, enrichment, crusher, carpenter, fermenter. Okay, so fertilizer, mulch, or compost. Yeah, that's what I thought. We got the right fertilizer, we got water. Fruit juice or seed oil will actually give you more output. You get 0.4 biomass for each sugar cane. With water, you get 0.6 with fruit juice or with seed oil, I believe, or honey it is. I think it's just got to warm up, right? Yep, here we go. So the green bar means that one of the sugar canes is being processed. It's just going grotesquely slow due to the lack of power. But this should gradually produce biomass, which can go into a biogas generator and produce way more power than this guy does. Well, it's interesting. The other thing we could make is a squeezer to make seed oil. Seed oil can also be burned directly in the biogas engine, just for a little less power. Now, one thing I wanted to check out was simply under liquids, fruit juice is kind of a cool liquid. So fruit juice will give you 1 mJ in a biogas engine. So fruit juice, veggie juice, seed oil, they're really low power fuels, but if you have a couple engines, you can get by with that. Question is, what can I squeeze to make fruit juice in this world? Apple drops, plums, well, these are all from forestry itself, the actual fruits from forestry. So apparently only regular apples, the rest is all, you have to grow special trees to get these. Okay, well, there's also there's veggie juice. Let's see. No, in this version there's no veggie juice. Well, darn it. Alright, well that's interesting. So I wonder which seeds we can make seed oil out of. Seed oil, as you can see, will give you 3 mJ per tick, so it'll give you 3 times as much power per second. So seed oil is not a bad fuel. Use the squeezer to get it. And again, there's all the crazy items from forestry I won't have for another like 200 game days. But regular wheat seeds, pumpkin and melon seeds you can squeeze to get seed oil. 0.08 each. This takes a long time to fill up a can with seed oil. Now we also in this world don't have any kind of really giant tanks for storing huge amounts of liquids, so we're just going to be using a lot of cans. Which is alright, because tin is cheap. Talk is cheap. Tin is cheaper. And let's see, somehow you're out of energy. Oh well. So we got some copper, got some tin. I've already got another sturdy casing. So, main thing we're going to need is, like I say, power. Power, power, power. So since seed oil gives way more than fruit juice, well, hang on, I'm not a total spaz. You will see that the medium oil biomass gives you 5 mJ per tick, so 5 times as much power per second for twice as long as the peat does. So that is cool. So we can get to that from all kinds of different materials. So that is good. In fact, like I should be able to right click and see all the things that can make biomass. I clicked on uses of it, so if I left click. So biomass can be produced from a fermenter, from saplings. Saplings is actually your best source. You get 3 units per sapling. So saplings is your best source. Cactus, like for example, gives you 0.6 units. Wheat gives you 0.6. Sugarcane. This sort of also depends on what type of catalyst you've used. Alright, it sounds really complicated. Even mushrooms can give you some biomass, so it's pretty cool. In this world, like I say, since tin is cheap, we're just going to be sucking this stuff out. We already got 2 units of biomass. Check it out. Did I put some... stop graying it out. I guess since I have some tin in my hand, I will make a few of these guys. There we go. So there's 48 cans. So the way these work is I'll put maybe 12 cans in here, and as you get a full can's worth of material, it will take another can and fill it. So we already have a start on fuel. That's pretty good. So I'm thinking we're going to make a biogas engine. Certainly upstairs for the MineChem seems to need a whole lot more power. And really this assembly line now really needs a whole lot more power, because this shouldn't be going so grotesquely slow. Normally these little bars just kind of zip by. So anyway, we're going to go with biomass.